G'day Cobber, how are ya? Am I upside down? Better adjust for the foreign viewers, just give me one sec. Is that better? Sweet. Stereotypes. We all get them no matter where we're from. And when abroad, we tend to hear them a lot more often. They tend to come from movies, pop culture, urban myths, or even just someone talking shit way back when. Many cliches about Australia come from these two culprits.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
This is the fear snake. Whoa. Come here, mate. The most venomous snake in the world.
And as an Australian travelling, you hear a lot of stereotypes, and it's usually one of the first things that somebody will say to you when trying to start a conversation. Some nice, some not so nice. Some true, some only cloaked in truth. So, let's get to the bottom of this. Isn't Australia really dangerous? Everything can kill you, yeah? I'm gonna get in a lot of strife for this. The truth. Unlike most other countries, here in Australia, we don't sit at the top of the food chain. If you've survived the night, day to day tends to be a fight for survival. Spiders will bind you up in the night, and they will drink your body dry. Snakes, even just eye contact, can poison your blood. Magpies will swoop down and pluck out your eyes. Crocodiles will have unconsensual sex with you before drowning you and eating you alive. Dingoes will steal your baby. And cassowaries, which are pretty much dinosaurs, can smell fear in the air and will hunt you down before ripping you open with their talons. Just looked it up, cows are the thing that kill the most people in Australia. So, yeah. Are all Australians bogans? All bogans are Australian, but are all Australians bogans? Firstly, what is a bogan? A bogan is someone who likes the unfine things in life. You could say they're uncultured and a bit rough, similar to hillbillies in the US and chavs in the UK. The thing about bogans is sometimes you can't even spot a bogan until they open their mouth. It's complicated. You can be a bogan without being a rat. Boganisms run deep in our culture. But no, not all Australians are bogans. If you ever meet a bogan, you'll know, because bogans are proud to confess it. Is New Zealand part of Australia? No, what are you, dumb? New Zealand is part of Middle Earth. New Zealand is its own country with its own culture. We will take it if they ever offer it. Australians and New Zealanders are similar, but we differ in many ways. For example, look at our flags. Worlds apart. And Australians don't tip. Yeah, nah. Why would you pay for a service on top of a service? Why wouldn't you just put that in the bill to start? Why complicate things? In Australia, we have the audacity to pay a minimum wage. Great idea. Pay your employees enough to begin with so that they're living above the line of poverty. You are all descendants of convicts, yeah? Around a fifth of people have ancestry dating back to the original convicts, 3% are indigenous, and the rest are all imported from all around the world. I heard Australians lost a war against emus. I'd never heard this one until an American told me. Apparently the Australian Army had the task of culling an overpopulation of emus who were destroying crops. They didn't really succeed in the task, and the emus still destroyed the crops. The craziest part of this story? The American who told me this called them emus. Emus, not emus. Americans think they're called emus. Yeah, that's right, emus. Australian history is really boring. Oh, that's a question, not a statement. Yes. Yes, it is. I've heard Vegemite tastes horrible, but you eat it on everything. If you ever meet an Australian overseas who has a jar of Vegemite, what you've just met is a wanker, my friend. My personal opinion is that Vegemite tastes like absolute dog shit. But my opinion is not the be all and end all. Some people really enjoy the taste. Those people are called crazy people. It's very salty and acquired taste. It's time to taste it. is really not nice whatsoever. That is vile. Drop bears aren't real, are they? Drop bears or death from above are unfortunately very real. They are a carnivorous sort of koala. When you're walking through bushland, you should be aware because they may drop from the branches above. They'll eat your face off. I unfortunately knew a guy who was attacked by one. His face was eaten totally off. You can barely recognize him now. He was only 19. I've heard Australia has a lot of serial killers. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I'd have no idea. How am I supposed to know? What are you accusing me of? I've done nothing. You have no proof. You have no proof to prove anything. We have had a few notorious cases, but in general, Australians like to keep their need to kill to a minimum. Australians all have strong accents and use slang that no one understands. Do I have a strong accent? I did. I noticed the very first time I went overseas and the very first moment I spoke to someone overseas. I think I said, "G'day mate, how you doing?" or something. And they just looked at me like, what world is this person from? Nobody understands us, but we understand everyone else because we're very worldly and we watch a hell of a lot of TV. We do use lingo which we don't even notice is foreign. And we do have a lot of slang. I will now give you a taste. No worries mate, she'll be right. Fair suck of the sauce bottle. Tell him he's dreaming. You bastard. Crikey. How you doing? Take a look at that Sheila. Blimey governor. You little ripper. Fair dinkum. She'll be right. Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, nah. Nah, yeah. I've overheard so many Europeans complain about this. When we say, how you doing, we're not asking you how you're doing. We don't expect an in-depth answer. It's just a turn of phrase. Just answer, good. Everyone in Australia is a model. I'm the exception to the rule. Most people are rather ugly. Okay, we do have some beautiful people here. We like to keep healthy and we live life in the outdoors. We do have the highest rate of skin cancer in the world though, so I'm not sure that that's the best thing. Do you really ride kangaroos to school? This really only occurs in the outback. Kangaroos are like ripped deer with amateur fight experience. They have the perfect body structure to carry small children, and they have unreal cardio. They're used in the outback to carry small children who have to cover hundreds of kilometers to get to school. They're very fuel efficient, and that's why they're used in this case. You wouldn't use a female kangaroo when it's in its birthing cycle because the joey fits in the pouch, and obviously you can't put the school books in there if there's a joey in there at the same time. Is used on the daily and we swear all the time. The word can be used as a word of endearment depending on which circles you mix in. I only ever use the word when I'm talking to children. I'm sure if I was to use that word in daily conversation with a stranger, they'd think I'm a delinquent. It's endless summer in Australia, isn't it? This depends on where you live in Australia. If you're up north, yes, it's hot most of the year. They have the wet and dry seasons. In the south, we just have the regular seasons. Hot in the spring and summer, cold the rest of the year round. I find that people from overseas who move to Melbourne, especially, tend to be shocked by how cold it is in winter. Cold for an Australian, probably warm for a Canadian. In Home and Away, it's always summer. It's always nice and warm. But that also is a fictional show, and so are movies. And maybe you shouldn't be getting your facts from movies. They're not documentaries. Australians are loud, dumb, and obnoxious. Are we loud? Well, we're not going to sit in silence. We're not going to live in fear. No. We may be more outgoing than other cultures, which could give us this reputation. Other cultures can be more reserved. This is just a misinterpretation of culture. Are we dumb? No. Australians are intelligent. We excel in the sciences, we have a great education system, and we are among the wealthiest of countries. Are we obnoxious? Times they are a-changing. It's a small number of people who like to keep up this appearance. We have a larrikin culture that runs deep in Australia. It's probably the worst thing about Australia. If you're at all intelligent or creative, expect to be ostracised. Aussies are so laid back and easygoing. Yes and no, in general, we're calm and cool. And at some point, we may not have had many rules. But today, we love rules and regulations to a ridiculous point. Having travelled, the thing I noticed was the freedom that other countries still experience. A freedom that we no longer have. That's all. I hope this answers some Austrian stereotypes. Now, make sure to like and subscribe, because I need my dopamine. If you don't like and subscribe, I'm going to have to turn to heroin. Do you want me to take heroin? No, that's going to be life-changing. That's going to destroy my life. And it'll be on you. It'll be on your conscience for making me take heroin. So like and subscribe. Hooroo. I just got a message, which is unusual for me. I'm not very popular. It's from my sister. My personal opinion is that... Okay, mate.